Yo! Welcome back to the channel. Hello everyone! Kamusta sa inyong lahat mga kaibigan at mga kapitbahay? In today's video, we are going to look into the weapon of the season in Wuthering Waves. And we're talking about Camellya's Red Spring. Is this weapon the ultimate power boost for your team? Or is it just another high-stakes gacha gamble? We'll break down all the juicy details, the stats, the exclusive buffs, and whether this weapon really transforms Camellya's potential. Plus, stick around because there are some hot rumors about a fusion healer slash support entering the Renascita arc. That could totally reshape team building strategies. So, buckle up because we've got a lot to unpack and you're not going to want to miss it. Alright, let's talk about the Red Spring. First up, the raw numbers. Red Spring has an attack base of 587 and a 24.3% crit rate at max level, instantly putting it near the top of the DPS rankings. That's a lot of raw power, but wait till you hear about the passive abilities. Red Spring gives an initial flat 12% attack boost, solid right? But what has everyone talking is the massive 40% boost to basic attack damage, which activates after consuming concerto energy. This energy requirement is where things get interesting. Most characters can only activate it after they're swapped out, except for one. Yes, we're talking about Camelia. This weapon isn't just powerful, it's actually tailor-made for Camelia's kit. Unlike other characters, Camelia can consume concerto energy without being benched, keeping her in action for extended periods. With the Red Spring, her basic attack hit an astounding 70% harder when the energy requirement is met. It's like putting her in turbo mode. For Camelia mains, this might be the answer to achieving those insane damage spikes, turning her into a self-sustained powerhouse. But here's the kicker, if Camelia isn't your main DPS, this weapon might not get the mileage you're hoping for. So let's get to the question on everyone's mind. Is it worth the pull? For players who focus on Camelia, this weapon is a best-in-slot choice. It gives her an edge that's almost unmatched. But if you're a more balanced player, Red Spring's exclusivity to Camelia can be a downside. It's a classic gacha game dilemma. Do you pull for specialization or save for versatility? The decision might hinge on how Wuthering Waves keeps developing new content. And let's face it, with gacha, sometimes the thrill is in rolling the dice. Alright, switching gears a bit, this could be big. Rumors are swirling about a possible fusion healer slash support entering the Renascita arc. If this is true, it's going to be a game changer for those of us who rely on fusion DPS units like Chang-Li, Encore, and Mortifi. Picture this, a healer who can handle fusion damage on the front lines. Fusion characters have been top tier in DPS but lack a dedicated healer to sustain them. Imagine the possibilities, especially for characters like Chang-Li, who's already a powerhouse on her own but could seriously benefit from a steady supply of health and fusion buffs. And so who really stands to gain from this fusion healer if the rumors pan out? Chang-Li comes to mind right away. With her already strong burst DPS, pairing her with a fusion healer could amplify her potential, adding survivability and allowing her to stay in combat longer without downtime. Encore could also shine here, as a healer would make up for her vulnerabilities to ground-based damage. Overall, we might see the rise of dual fusion teams, bringing even more variety and strategy into play, which is something the game could use to keep things fresh. Let's return to the weapon, Red Springs. This new weapon, along with the potential fusion healer that is coming sometime in 2.0, could signal a shift in Wuthering Waves. It's looking to become less about pure damage and perhaps a little bit more about tactical synergy and versatile team compositions. It's exciting to see this kind of depth unfold, as it gives players more control over creating distinct builds rather than just chasing stats. The introduction of specialized roles such as a fusion support healer slash buffer and weapons like the Red Spring could set Wuthering Waves apart from the competition, creating a more nuanced experience that's bound to keep us all hooked. Returning to the potential fusion support and healer, it's pretty exciting to consider the possibilities. Given how Wuthering Waves typically designs its characters, a fusion resonator with support and healing abilities would definitely bring a new twist to the meta. Until now, we've only seen support and healing roles for Glacio and Spectral Resonators, each adding their own unique layers of control and sustainability to teams. But a support character wielding the fusion element? That could be a game changer in ways we haven't seen before. Fusion, as we know, is an element with a strong focus on sheer damage output. It's about pushing limits and amplifying power. This leads me to believe that if this character is indeed a fusion resonator, their kit would likely lean heavily into damage boosting rather than straight healing. Think about it. A fusion support who offers less healing but compensates by giving a significant buff to attack power could open the door to some incredibly powerful team compositions. In fact, this could make them something of a Wuthering Waves version of Binet from Genshin Impact, a character who, while capable of some healing, shines brightest when elevating the team's overall damage. But let's hope that these buffs aren't limited to fusion resonators alone. If this character's buffs are universal, they could potentially work across multiple team setups, unlocking a wider range of possibilities. Imagine a support who can amplify damage for fusion characters while still providing substantial boost to other elements. This would make them a universal powerhouse, someone who fits seamlessly into teams beyond fusion-based setups. And so, let's break down the final verdict on the Red Spring. If you're a dedicated Camelia main, this weapon is practically your golden ticket. It doesn't just complement her abilities, it supercharges them, letting Camelia hit her peak like never before. Imagine those massive crits and non-stop damage output as she tears through the toughest enemies without missing a beat. Red Spring gives her everything she needs to be a complete powerhouse. For players who love getting in close with her and unleashing rapid attacks, it's almost like this weapon was made just for you. But on the flip side, if you're more of a team builder or a collector, then you might want to consider your gems carefully. Red Spring's bonuses, while jaw-dropping for Camelia, are laser-focused. If you're hoping for a weapon that brings flexibility across multiple characters or fits in a wider range of setups, Red Spring may feel a bit niche. And we all know how Wuthering Waves works. Sometimes it's all about timing, patience, and waiting for that perfect weapon that enhances your whole lineup. And speaking of future potential, we can't ignore the juicy rumor about a fusion healer joining the Renascita lineup. Imagine if this healer actually does come into play, offering not just health restoration but powerful fusion-based buffs. It could be the missing puzzle piece for so many fusion DPS builds that rely on staying power. For characters like Changli and Encore, and even Scar, a healer like this could mean a whole new era of battle synergy, letting us create teams that push the boundaries of damage and support. If this character lives up to the hype, it could make Wuthering Waves more dynamic than ever. Now, it's your turn. Are you diving headfirst into Red Spring, ready to make Camelia your ultimate DPS queen? Or are you holding out, waiting to see what other game-changing gear or characters the devs have up their sleeves? I'm excited to hear where everyone stands, so make sure to drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Are you Team Camelia, Team Fusion Healer, or maybe even just curious to see where the meta goes next? And if you found this breakdown helpful or it made that pull decision just a little bit easier, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already yet, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on our future discussions. We're here for every new update, every pull, and every boss battle. So until next time, keep those gems ready, stay tuned for more, and as always, happy pulling and happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching this video. Maraming salamat po, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!